Critical numbers of the function. The function is x cubed times e raised to negative 5x. We know that critical numbers of a function are those x values in the domain of the function where the derivative is 0 or the derivative is undefined. Okay, so what is the domain here? Domain means the possible x values. X cube is a cubic function. It's always negative infinity through positive infinity, and exponential functions are also continuous everywhere. They are defined everywhere. So the domain is all real numbers, by the way. So the critical numbers can be any real number. There is no restriction here. So let's find the derivative here. We got x cubed times e raised to negative 5x, which is in fact a product. So we must use the product rule. When we have f times g, then we find its derivative, that is f prime times g plus g prime f. Okay, that way derivative of x cubed, which is 3x squared, times e raised to negative 5x plus derivative of e raised to negative 5x times x cubed. Okay, we know this one is easy. X cubed derivative 3x squared e to the negative 5x. Here is a little bit more. It's chain rule. E raised to something. We know e raised to something other than x, let's say u. Derivative of eu from the chain rule itself times derivative of inside function. That in this case, so is a plus sign, it's itself times derivative of negative 5x, which is negative 5, times x cubed. Okay, this is the derivative. Now we want to set the derivative. We want to see the x values where the derivative is undefined or the derivative 0. But before we do that, let's at least simplify these two terms. At least let me just factor e to the negative 5x out. That leaves 3x squared. Here we got negative 5x cubed. Okay, I'm just going to take this one out. Okay, and again this is a polynomial defined everywhere. This is exponential function defined everywhere. So this derivative is defined everywhere. That means we need to find critical numbers setting the derivative 0. So we want to find the x values where the derivative is 0. That means this product 0. Okay, when we have a product of two things 0, that means either this 0 or this 0. But exponential functions are never 0. If you graph exponential function, if you graph this, it never intersects x-axis. So this is never 0. That forces this must be 0. 3x squared minus 5x cubed equals 0. Okay. Now let's solve for x. So we got two terms. Solving means let's factor x squared out. 3 minus 5 x equals 0. It's a product. So either x squared equals 0. So from this one, x squared 0 means x is 0. From this factor, 3 minus 5x 0, subtract 3 from both sides, so we get negative 5x equals negative 3. Now divide by negative 5, so x equals 3 over 5. Negative 3 over negative 5, negatives cancel. So thus the critical numbers are 0 and 3/5. Final.